This video is going to be really interesting, so stick around. First things first, I want to thank you for clicking on this video because I know there's tons of other videos out there on YouTube that you could be watching, so I appreciate you clicking on my video. With that being said, welcome to another episode of Dad's Den, where my motto is work smarter, not harder. I do tech reviews, food reviews, and fun reaction videos just like this one. So if you're into any of those three things, please consider subscribing below. As many of you know, I have been doing a lot of reaction videos to Indian films. And I figured, you know what, it's probably time that I learn a little bit more about India. I know there's different states, different languages, and so I think I need to learn a little bit more. I don't know if this is going to help me too much, but this is 15 things you didn't know about India. So I think it's perfect for what I'm doing, so that's what we're going to do today.
Hello A-Luxers, and welcome back to another fascinating video. Today we're looking at incredible facts you didn't know about the 7th largest country in the world, India. With a population of over 1 billion people, India is one of the most influential and powerful countries in the world. Its cultural history is particularly complex and detailed, spanning 4,500 years of predominantly Hindu philosophy and theology. Thousands of years later, modern India is profoundly different, with its own colossal film industry, a diverse population, and an astonishingly big workforce.
Film industry.
Because alux.com is dedicated to becoming the world's best resource on the most interesting countries and destinations, we couldn't wait to bring you 15 things you didn't know about India.
All right, well, let's get started. Let's stop talking about it.
Number 1. Bollywood's highest-grossing film made 27 times more than Hollywood's highest-grossing film. For every 600 films Hollywood produces, Bollywood will make 1,000. They're the most profitable films, too, when you compare the numbers. Hollywood's highest-grossing film was 2009's Avatar, which made $2.8 billion at the box office. In stark contrast, the Bollywood film 3 Idiots brought in $76.81 billion. Now that's a profit.
That is insane.
Number 2. Shampoo was invented in the 16th century, India. Derived from the Sanskrit champoo, which means massage, the concept of shampooing was invented in India in the 16th century.
Interesting.
Herbs and natural ingredients were used then, rather than today's combination of modern chemicals and fragrances. In particular, gooseberry, sapindus, and fruit pulp. When colonial visitors came to India, they brought the practice of shampooing and hair washing back with them to Europe.
Well, apparently Europe forgot.
Number 3.
Well, that's
Diamonds
deodorant,
were
but
first mined in India, and it was the world's greatest producer. India was the most productive diamond mining country in the world until diamonds were found in Brazil in the 18th century. There are now 3 active diamond mines in India, and the famous Kohinoor diamond was found in the 13th century. The 793-carat stone went from person to person and was eventually acquired by Queen Victoria during the British Raj in India.
Gotta steal from India.
Number 4. Elephants in Kerala can treat themselves to a spa day. Punathur Kata Elephant Yard Rejuvenation Center provides elephants with baths, massages, and soothing pamper sessions. The spa caters to 59 clients and is a way of giving back to the sacred animal.
That's really cool.
Elephants play an important role in Kerala's temple processions and are a significant
like a dog park
feature
for
of
elephants.
the region, so they deserve a massage every now and then.
Yeah, they do. Come on.
Number 5.
Do a lot of work.
The largest religious gathering in India can be seen from space. Kumbh Mela is a Hindu pilgrimage which takes people to the banks of the Ganges every 12 years. The major event involves ritualistic bathing, devotional singing, religious discussion, and feeding the poor. The attendance figures had to be capped at 75 million,
Look how many
making it the
people there are.
largest pilgrimage on Earth.
Wowzers.
Number 6. Ancient Indian civilization is the oldest in the world. We often look to ancient Greece and ancient Egypt,
Yeah, we always think about that.
but Indian civilization dates back to 2400 BC, when it was split into 16 monarchies known as the Mahajanapadas. There are even authenticated human remains that date back to 30,000 years in South Asia. The oldest Hindu texts were written between 2000 and 500 BC, as well as the first texts on science, medicine, and astronomy. We actually owe the number 0 to Indian mathematics, who created the concept.
Gotta have a 0, right?
Number 7.
Makes sense.
India is home to every major world religion and doesn't have a national language. Hinduism,
Oh, that's interesting.
Christianity, Buddhism, Islam, and Sikhism all have a place in Indian society, with the most dominant being Hinduism and Islam, covering 80% and 14% of the population, respectively. Judaism has existed in India for the last 2,215 years,
Right,
and some
I
of
knew
these
that.
smaller religions also featured, including Jain, Zoroastrian, and Baha'i. India also doesn't have a single national language because 1,652 dialects are spoken across the different regions.
Wow. It's not like the United States.
Number 8.
One language.
A polling station is set up for just one voter in Gir Forest at every election. Every election, Marant Barandas Deshandas gets his local polling station entirely to himself because he's the only resident of Gir Forest.
That's awesome.
He's been voting in Indian elections since 2004 and never misses one now that he has his own personal polling station. Mahant is the caretaker for the one temple in the forest in Gujarat, a home he shares with the rare Asiatic lion.
That's kind of cool, actually.
Number
It's in his own
9.
little world.
The Indian government has used scaffolding to hide the Taj Mahal when airstrikes are predicted. During the Second World War and the Indian-Pakistan
Interesting.
Wars, scaffolding was put up around the distinctive domes of the Taj Mahal to make it less obvious from above. They feared strikes by the Japanese Air Force during World War II, so hid their most famous landmark. More recent threats to the Taj Mahal include the rising levels of the Yamuna River, which has cracked the tomb underneath the structure.
Uh-oh.
There have been predictions that
That's
the
not
tombs
good.
could collapse at any time. Check out our video, 15 Most Expensive Man-Made Attractions in the World, to find out what ranks along the stunning Taj
Yeah,
Mahal.
the Taj Mahal is pretty cool. I've seen lots and lots of pictures of the Taj
Number
Mahal.
10.
It's pretty awesome.
Indians invented navigation, yoga, the world's cheapest car, and thorium-based nuclear power. Indian society can take credit for some of the most important inventions in the world. They were the first to create the concept of navigation, over 6,000 years ago, using rivers and seas. Yoga was created 5,000 years ago and has roots in Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism.
I need
The
to take
world's
up yoga.
cheapest car, the Tata Nano, which costs around 100,000 rupees, the equivalent of $1,400.
Whoa,
and India is the
$1,400
home
bucks.
of
Nice.
the first next-generation thorium reactor.
Super small, though.
The
You
country
get an
is
accident.
aiming to produce 30%
Not
of
good.
its electrical power with thorium by 2050. Number 11. You can stay at the former Indian royal residence for $88,000 a night. If you want to stay at the lap of luxury, forget Paris and forget Dubai. India is the home of the most
$88,000 a
stunning palaces
night.
in the world. Once the home of the Maharajas, there are opulent palaces throughout the country, with some dating back hundreds of years. The Kumbh Lake Resort hosted Prince
That
Charles's 65th
does
birthday.
look pretty awesome.
And the 450-year-old Samod Palace in Jaipur has hosted famous faces from all over the world.
Hey guys, can you invite Dad's Den
Number
to come stay
12.
there for a night?
King
I'll do a
Jai Singh of
video about it.
Alwar snubbed Rolls-Royce in the best possible way. India has a long and colorful history of quirky monarchies and extravagant kings and queens. The King of Alwar in northeast India was insulted by a Rolls-Royce salesman when he visited a showroom in London. A very proud man, he ordered a whole fleet of Rolls-Royce cars and gave them to the city's waste department so they could use them to transport rubbish throughout the city.
Eh,
Number 13.
I don't know who
1
really won, though.
million Indians are millionaires. India
1
has one of the
million
most
Indians
dramatic
are
wealth gaps
millionaire-
in the world,
millionaires?
with 35% of the country living below the poverty line. Those who live way above it live a very different kind of life. The richest Indian in the world is Mukesh Ambani, who has a net worth of $53 billion. The 59-year-old made his money in the oil and gas industry, and his billion-dollar home recently
What
made
in the world
headlines
is
because
that?
he chose to build a 27-story skyscraper instead of a sprawling mansion.
Well, that looks so weird, too.
Number 14.
That was weird.
The first account of plastic surgery was found in an ancient Sanskrit text. One of the first medical texts was the Sushruta Samhita, which can be dated back to the 6th century CE. It's one of the very first examples of a medical text and discusses surgery, incisions, skin grafts, and nose reconstruction. Britain's
Interesting.
first nose job wouldn't be performed until 1814, a worrying 80 years before the Sushruta Samhita would be translated. Number 15. One of India's most extravagant weddings caused controversy because it was too extravagant. Lasting 5 days and costing $74 million, the wedding of the daughter of a prominent businessman
Wow.
made headlines in 2016 for all the wrong reasons. The $2.5 million wedding sari, Bollywood royalty in attendance, and gold Bangalore palace setting was denounced as an obscene display of wealth. Millions of Indians live in poverty, so the wedding was criticized for being in poor
I
taste.
can see that. I can definitely see that. I could see how most people
There are
who live
many
in poverty would not
stereotypical
like
images
that.
of India,
That's not cool.
but there's so much more to this
It's
incredible
kind of wasted
country
money,
than many of us
if
know.
you ask me.
The center of many industries and the world's biggest democracy, India has influenced art, literature, science, and medicine potentially more than any other nation.
That's true if you really break it down.
If you could take a trip to this beautiful, fascinating country, where would you find yourself? In a gorgeous Maharaja's palace, surrounded by palm trees and rural
I wouldn't mind the
countryside,
Maharaja's
or a modern
palace.
apartment in the thick of busy Mumbai?
Wherever they have the best food, that's where I'm going to end up. That's all I'm saying. So send me over there and I will come and I'll find me some good food.
Oh,
That's
you're
what I'm
still
gonna do.
here?
I am still
Here's
here.
another bizarre and incredible fact about India. About 40% of the Indian population is vegetarian, making it the largest veggie population in the
Okay.
world. Many choose to not eat meat for spiritual and religious reasons, with beef and pork products often ruled out of their diet. Vegetarianism is so influential that KFC, McDonald's, and Pizza Hut had to introduce vegetarian menus for their Indian franchises to cater to the population. The country with the fewest vegetarians
gotta
is
cater to,
Portugal, where just 1.8% of
who's
the
eating at your
population have cut
establishments.
meat from their
Smart.
diet. Thank you for spending some time with us, A-Luxer. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video.
All
If you want
right.
more,
So we're going to go ahead and stop that. Yeah, that's really, really interesting stuff there. So a lot of that was new to me. I didn't, like I said, I don't know a whole lot about the country of India. So that was very interesting. Some of it is crazy. I don't know if I'm going to spend $88,000 to go spend the night at a Maharaja's old palace, but hey, it would be nice to go see it and go tour it maybe. Anyhow, some very interesting stuff there. I learned a lot, and I hope maybe you learned something too from this video. So anyhow, that is going to wrap up this video of Dad's Den. Again, thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe below. And for now, as always here at Dad's Den, work smarter, not harder. We'll see you next time.